Good afternoon, garden friends. And in this episode of Small Gardens Big Bang, we will be exploring Janie's stunning half moon garden, full of charm, creativity, and head-turning colors. Her blend of hostas, graceful Japanese maples, fuzzy lamb's hair, and feathery ferns to create a peaceful, layered garden. So come along as Janie shares her garden.
This is my garden, and this sort of flows. It's a what is it called? A half moon garden, so to speak. And I have a lawn and more lawn in the middle. One of my precious plants that I planted a number of years ago was this eucalyptus. And the eucalyptus, unfortunately, this past winter got hit. It used to be up here waving over my my porch, and I thought it was dead, but you can see it started to come back from the root.
Nice.
And so I am so grateful that it is coming back and it survived. And what I have over here is is hosta. I was mentioning that I love hosta. So I have a number of different species, or not species, but I don't know the names of all of them, but I really like collecting hostas. And my style is, basically I like blue pots. I have a lot of blue pots. And I also like for things to be completely filled in. Now some of the fill here are weeds, but... But pretty much I have this hosta, I have this is one of my favorites, and I also like hydrangea. And this is a endless summer hydrangea. They happen to be in bloom right now. That's another hydrangea. Different sedum are here. I have some very large hostas. I have some wonderful ground cover. I don't know the name of it exactly, but I go to a lot of garden tours, and the garden tours where people will just say, if I admire something, they'll give it to you. That's one thing about planting. So this is lungwort, which I just added to my garden, and it's a great companion. It is a great companion plant for hostas and shade gardens. And before I put in this particular garden, which was about 3 years ago, I had canna. These are canna lilies. But they were gone because I had this completely I had soil, I had it amended. The next thing I know, they're coming back. So they are back now, and the hummingbirds absolutely love them. I have lots of pollinators, and so the flowers are coming in, and the birds love them.
Okay, I gotta ask, what's that in the pot, in the beige pot?
Yeah. Okay, this is an annual, and I don't know, I should have done my research before you came, but the hummingbirds absolutely adore
it's gorgeous.
These little trumpets, and they linger here. I have a video of them they go to each one of them. And I was like, how much sap can they get out of these things? I said, because they are here every single morning.
Nice.
Like getting them. So I have in here, as I said, I have some pots, and these are annuals but for the most part, it's a perennial garden.
Yeah.
And but in between, I also have some ferns. I have a Japanese painted fern that is over here.
I just recently got one of those because I saw it on the Smyrna garden tour.
Yes.
Loved it.
Love the Japanese painted ferns, and as well as I have the autumn ferns, which are evergreen.
Oh, nice.
And they stay here even when everything else dies back. Hostas die back, hydrangeas die back. And so that it doesn't look so barren, I try to put in something that will stay evergreen.
Nice. And I didn't know that about that fern.
Yes, well, the Japanese will not.
Okay.
But the autumn ferns, which I'll show to you, they stay. So I have here, this is a camellia plant. Camellia bush or whatever, and so I just trim it into a tree.
Nice.
Yeah, and it blooms generally in the winter, so you have some winter interest in your garden because it flowers beautifully. And as I said, I have different variations of hosta around. These are annuals that are in the pots that I just like to highlight. This is, of course, an annual called Persian something.
Persian shield.
Shield.
Because I have one of those too. It's gorgeous.
And my husband is Persian.
Yeah, okay.
So I mean, so it is really like, I love the colors.
Yeah.
It's almost iridescent and it looks beautiful. You know, I have the hummingbirds that are iridescent. And I also put in some bellflowers this spring. These are bellflowers, and they are perennials also.
Oh,
they have a beautiful bloom.
Oh, that is pretty.
They have a beautiful bloom. And back here, of course, in pots, I have hostas. This year, I have these, which are sedum, because in the past, I have had hostas and hydrangeas in these pots.
Mm-hmm.
They are too difficult to keep them hydrated.
Gotcha.
Hydrangea is hydration, and so I had to remove them. And this year, I recently put in this stone crop sedum, and so we're going to see how it does. So far, it's doing great.
Nice.
It's doing great. So, and these are the autumn ferns.
Okay.
And they stay green, so you still have some interest. These, of course, are incredible Annabelle hydrangeas. And they have a very long bloom life, which I adore. These ones. They turn white usually, and then after the white, they turn green, a lime green.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's another autumn fern. And so I'm still just building, because eventually I want every inch of this to have some type of flower. Now, as I said, my husband cut down my shade for these. So with the lighter colored hosta, they can take a little more sun.
Right.
Typically, a hosta is a shade plant. These take a little more sun because of the golden ones. So we're going to see how those work. Back here, I have lantana, which is a wonderful perennial that continues to come back every year. I have a snowball tree. The gardenias were hit horribly this winter. So this is a gardenia that I started from a very, very small plant, and hopefully it'll do better next year. In between, I have white. Oh, these were some. What are they called?
Lenten rose?
These are the Lenten roses, and of course they are evergreen and bloom in the winter. This is a volunteer. This is a beauty berry that is going to have lots of beautiful purple berries on it, and it was a volunteer where it just came up.
Oh, and they had flowers. The flowers are pretty.
They have these little flowers, but these little flowers will turn into clumps of purple berries.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they do really well. Again, I have some sedum, and I have this, which is this variegated plant that it really was a ground cover, and it is a ground cover that I have in a pot. Another hydrangea, hostas, and these are some annuals. This is a fuchsia, which probably is getting a little too much sun. And if you can see back here, these were my feather. They're called white feathers. They did not do as well this year, but they usually are white and then they sort of turn green. And this is what do you call this?
Heuchera.
Yes, heuchera, exactly. This is a heuchera that I had. This was one of my first hostas, and this was from a Martha Stewart collection at Kmart. So, and it has been in this family for a very long time. More hydrangeas, Annabelles. I have some trees back here that provide more of a natural fence. These are Leland cypress, which I had more Leland cypress, but they had to be taken down. They have a life of only about, I'd say, 15 years or something like that. So we put in a couple more, and we'll see what happens. More hostas. Not in bloom are these clematis. These are purple clematis, and they're not in bloom now, but they always have some interest. Um, hydrangeas, some of the hostas where I have no idea where they will go. They are recent ones, and I'm just babying them to plant in the fall when it gets a little cooler.
Yeah.
To put them actually in the ground somewhere.
Right.
This is a plant that I rescued in somebody's garden refuge that was on the street, and I have
wow.
no shame.
Hey.
Went up and actually, saw that, and it had roots.
Nice.
So it was really wonderful, and I'm very proud of that one. Again, we have these are camellia plants that I've had for a number of years. This is a dogwood that was a natural. It was here when I moved in. More hydrangeas. These are annuals. These are the dragon wing begonias that I usually like to just accent. They're annuals. These are used as like the natural fence. These are mock orange. This is a mock orange, and it usually in the spring, early spring, is covered with very fragrant smelling blossoms. And it's a mock orange, and I think it's a native plant. And a girlfriend moved to Colorado and left me her Japanese maple.
That is just beautiful.
It was very tiny, and now it has grown into much more of a beautiful piece. I love it.
Yes, it is gorgeous. Now, how tall will that get? Because the ones I've seen, because of how it bends over, do you keep it, like cut it to keep it that size, or?
No, I have not cut this one to keep it this size. This has been here now probably about 5 years, because I had it in a pot for a long time, and it's probably been here now for about 3 years after I took it out of the pot. So it has grown substantially.
Nice.
And what I do is that I do take out the under stuff, because to get that umbrella look.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but then I just let it do its own thing.
Nice.
I'm much more of a natural whatever. I always have some mint. It's very invasive. I used to have 5 different types that were planted everywhere, and eventually they took over.
Yeah.
So I had to scale back and put it in pots. These are weeds. These are weeds, which I haven't been out here to pull these out, but they are in my heirloom peonies that my mom gave me, and they're just suffering a little bit because this is not their season.
Yeah.
And but they usually have big white blooms on them. This had a lot of damage. This is a gardenia. It usually is filled with white blossoms, very fragrant gardenias, and it suffered tremendously in the freeze this winter. I've recently put in these limelights, hydrangea, and just put these in. This is debutante, which is a camellia bush. And so I have that one. And my kitchen garden is over here with, I only use basil and chives because that's all I like to eat.
Right.
I only cook with those.
Yeah.
So that's there. Around the corner, we have, this year I bought these, and we'll see how they do. These are foxgloves.
Oh,
They're not doing well now, but they are biannual, so they won't do anything next year, but then the next year we're praying that they will.
Okay.
And these were my hydrangeas, which were the macrophilia hydrangeas, and this was a huge bush.
Wow.
But the freeze, they had no blooms. Most people in this area had no blooms.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
Yeah, no blooms for this particular type of hydrangea this year. But these two have been here for years. This is what they call 4 o'clock. 4 o'clocks like go crazy. So you have all kinds of little baby 4 o'clocks coming up, and they produce seeds, and they can be quite invasive. But I like them. I love them actually. This is one of my only. I had 2 of these. It's called the Jim Morrison azalea. And it's a variegated pink and white azalea when it blooms.
Nice.
Yes, and it blooms. And it used to be all over, but my husband basically never let them loose with a chainsaw. And he sort of trimmed that. And so that's why it looks like that. Now all the blooms are up there. As you can see, the pollinators
they
crazy.
are loving it.
They love it. The bees everywhere. But they're beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. This is my original beauty berry, which I told you I had a volunteer back there. And it will bloom into all of these. All of where you see the little flowers will be lots of clusters of purple berries.
Nice.
This is another, it's called Rising Dawn or something like that. And it's a purple camellia bush.
Oh, wow.
Blooms in the winter and beautiful. Some hostas, and then here I've had just a lot of volunteer. What are these called? They're sunflowers.
Yeah.
This is a green maple that I started and planted maybe a year or two ago. I have a natural azalea, native. I have a native azalea back here that is yellow. And a lot of other things. This is Amsonia, and it has blue flowers on it in the early spring.
Okay.
And again, 4 o'clock. This, we took down a tree, which we took down just because it was like too much. And so we are in the process of building this bed. And this, of course, is one of the original dogwoods. And here we have a smoke tree.
Oh, I think those are so gorgeous.
They are. And this one has been struggling because of, it has something, we moved it. And since we moved it, it has been struggling, but I think it's alive and well. This is a crepe myrtle, which we thought it was mislabeled. We thought it was a chase tree.
Oh, okay.
And so Growers Outlet has just told me that it was mislabeled until I planted it, and I said, oh, this is a crepe myrtle.
Yeah.
And so they are willing to take it back and give me a credit for it. And
nice.
Hopefully I can get a chase tree. This is a tulip tree that, God willing, it needs some nitrogen or something because it's looking very yellow. But eventually it'll be one of the tulip trees. It's an annual in this area for most people.
It's very pretty.
We did a few, we're trying to fill this bed, so we did a few Stella Doro, what do you call those? Daylilies.
Daylilies. Yeah, one of my garden friends has over 250 different varieties of daylilies.
Wow, she must have a lot of sun.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic for filling in gaps.
Yeah.
These over here are, this is an heirloom plant from my mom's.
Oh, okay.
It's amaryllis.
Oh, those
this is an
are so
amaryllis
pretty.
that usually has like lots of blooms in early spring. And I have some other amaryllis that are not heirloom mixed in here. One that is salmon colored, and then I have a nut. These are pretty much variegated red and white, but I have some solid red ones in here that I purchased. And any of your amaryllis, you know, if you force them during Christmas or during that time, just keep them afterwards, and then put them out in the spring, and they will grow beautifully in this area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they'll grow. Drinking gourd, hosta. I went on a garden tour and found these things are called holly ferns.
Oh, okay.
And they grow in the shade because I'm trying to reduce and save my husband's back so that everything is perennial that we can get it. And these, of course, are the ones we were talking about.
Right.
These are the Japanese painted ferns. Over here are, crazy. Over here we have lamb's ear. And I've added a new variety of lamb's ear to this pot.
Helen Vaughnstein.
Is that who
That's what it's called. That's my favorite.
Because I think I may have seen
yes,
it at your house.
Yes, I have it all over. I love it.
And so I saw it there, and I mean, the leaves are so much larger.
Yeah.
These are more silvery right now. And
yeah.
This may be because it's in the sun. But Yeah, so I love the lamb's ear stays year round.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I got hostas. I got these little plants coming up with the 4 o'clocks. This is my giant first 4 o'clock that we have to tie back.
Yeah.
It's so huge. And this, what you were talking about, this was a $36 fine at a nursery in Austell, Georgia. And we got that soon after we moved in here. So this is about 25 years old.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about 20 years old at least. Just continues to outdo itself. Yeah. And this also was what's called a grafted maple. And I don't know what that means exactly.
That's pretty.
Other than it's still a maple, Japanese maple, but it's grafted. And I think the way that they grew it. These were very tiny when I originally got them. They're Blue Angel Hosta. And they grew very large.
Yeah.
As you can see, they grew very large.
And this is like ideal for hostas to have. You got a little peek of the sun coming through, but this is what they like.
This is what they love. They love the shade. They love the shade and they love water. And we had an entire row of gardenias over here that were all killed during this past year. And that's what we were saying about what you learn in gardening is that you have to be willing to mourn the loss. And I mean, it was a big mourn.
Yeah.
It was gone, unfortunately. And so we put in some new plants to fill in the gaps. This usually we have had with caladiums.
Mm-hmm.
White caladiums is what this area was known for. However, in saving my husband's back again, we decided we're going to put something in here that just stays and comes back.
Yeah.
So this is a new bed. Hostas over there, of course. And that's essentially it. I mean, this was an original tree, which I think is some type of maple.
Yeah.
And it's an original tree in the subdivision. So
yeah. Wow.
That's us.
Your yard is just so gorgeous. I know when we were talking, you were like, oh, my yard is a tiny garden. But this is a manageable garden for you guys. And, with gardening, that's what you determine. Whether or not you want a full, huge garden or something that's more medium size or even a balcony garden. Because I'm going to be speaking with someone that's trying to get a garden set up on her balcony,
great.
So, and like I said, that's the beauty of gardening. You got different levels that individuals enjoy. So I cannot thank you enough for allowing me to come and tour your garden. It's just beautiful.
My thanks are to you in terms of you being so enthusiastic and encouraging. And I don't know if you know Deborah. I met her with a plant swap. And, it was like instant plant friends. And thank you for coming over and letting me show off my fun.
Okay.
This is my fun.